All right, so today we're talking about the Medford Viceroy ballast song. I don't call them that, I just call them butterfly knives. Uh, Had this guy for a little bit now. It's the Tonto and the S45VN. Fit and finish on these things came out outstanding. Got that high kind of shine on there. Really nice and smooth on the back. It is an integral. I went with, they had a couple options. I always wanted the lightning anno, and I figured this would be a good one to have it on. And yeah, there it goes in the light there. It's a very, very nice butterfly knife. And like I say, before any misconceptions come around, I don't do all those fancy tricks and flips and I can switch hands, but basically it's your standard, like, kind of opening, closing, the standard way you're supposed to use them. I'm a virgin with nothing else to do, and I just sit there and, not to knock on anybody, do what you do. That's not me. I started playing with these things. I think I got my first one when I was about 14 or so. A couple of them broke. They were cheap pop metal ones. Actually got this old beater here. Got this when I was like 15. This is my actual first nicer, quote unquote, nicer one. I was helping my dad build our patio a long time ago. I'm 44, so when I was 15 years old. And, I would just do the normal open and close, quick back and forth, dual hand. I've had so many different shitty ones over the years. Another example, this one I liked the most when I was younger, just because I liked the heft to it and all that good stuff. But, I've had a couple of Benchmade butterfly knives as well. So as far as, I can't do a review on this, the huge balance and tricks and this and that. I do have to say, for one, that as far as for just basic flipping, like you're supposed to, not the twirling with your fingers and throwing it in the air and all that crap. I don't know. I have no idea. I've never messed with any of those type of butterfly knives, ballast songs, whatever. I do know that this one is extremely smooth, razor sharp. Came down on it. I was going with it, and I was going a little too fast, and that came down and slipped my finger pretty good. It is big. Well, I didn't bring anything for comparison. The Scarab 2 Gen 3 next to it. So it's pretty long, which does help with the balance on it. I don't even know how long these are compared to the other ones. It's good and light. Get my tape measure in here. Let's see. Let's go about 10.5 inches overall length. Just get a weight on this guy while I got it here. Like I said, these aren't for everybody. I just wanted one because I always wanted a higher end butterfly knife, and then Medford says, okay, 4 ounces, around 4 ounces. Don't know if that's good or bad in the balisong butterfly knife world. I have no idea. But from what I understand, there was a guy that worked at Medford or started working there, and he was huge into the flipping competition style stuff, and he wanted to help design one, I guess. And this is what he came up with and what Medford came up with. And did they do a good job? Like I say, as far as, the wiggle, hardly any play, You know, it is on washers, I do believe. And as smooth as it is, I mean, it's incredibly smooth, but I do think it's on washers. I don't believe it's on bearings. Don't correct me if I'm wrong. But just kind of, you know, I don't know what you would want to talk about as far as, because I don't carry it, you know, and these are illegal to carry. Again, why? I have no idea. I have no idea why these are illegal to carry. Would I carry one? No. Because if I did, you know, you'd have to have a clip on there, and that kind of messes everything up. And it's just, it's not practical for your everyday knife guy. But me being able to manipulate a butterfly knife the way it's supposed to be manipulated, and then work on speed and stuff like that, you know, I've got that down. I'm a little bit rusty. You know, it's hard to do on camera, but you get the gist of it. Open, close, close, open, do the spin a little bit. But aside from that, I don't really mess with it much. But me being, I mean, I've always had butterfly knives. I've always played with them. It's hard to do when you've got, I don't have kids, but when you have pets and they're out and about, you can't sit there and flip them just in case it drops or they jump up on your lap, and that's not good. But I do have to say, the lightness of it for being such a big knife, and you know, being an integral is pretty cool. And like I said, can't compare it to anything else. It's just kind of a showpiece as far as I'm concerned in my collection, because of butterfly knives are a big part of my knife journey. I don't know if anyone else is, you know, like I said, started with cheap, and like it's like everything else. You start with the cheapest of the cheap, and hell, I can remember back on like the Home Shopping Network or QVC, they'd have, I don't know, you know, 30 knives for $45. And, you know, they had I think they were what, Frost Cutlery back then. And I remember ordering that shit. But yeah, that's kind of how my knife journey started. First was a Swiss Army knife, then a fixed blade. Then it was butterfly knives and gas station knives. And then I got into Kershaw. And eventually going into Benchmade, got into Microtech, got into a couple other brands, got into Medford, and then started getting into customs. But that's kind of how, you know, you can't start at the top. If you do, I think it would be boring if you started with, you know, unlimited supply of money to buy what you can. I mean, I think it would be. It's kind of like anything else if you put it in that category of you guys know what I'm trying to say. But yeah, short, sweet video. I'm not going to change the camera view and show what I can do with it or whatever. But, you know, I have heard guys say that do competitions and stuff like that it's actually pretty good for what it was made for, if that makes sense. But I'll kind of leave it at that. Like I said, don't really have nothing else to compare it to. Can I recommend it? As far as, I mean, I can't, unless you're like, you know, unless you're like me and just wanted a higher end one just to play with here and there. But yeah, give me a subscribe, like, comment if I like reading the comments. I appreciate you guys watching. You guys have a good one.